Hey guys, doing a video of my 2017 gear for hiking. Did one last year. The last year's was 10 pounds, I think. Taking about 2 pounds off that. Everything you see in this video will be about 10 pounds, or 8 pounds, 8 pounds base weight. So yeah, these videos go on way too long, especially when I ramble, so I'll just get straight into it. Actually, let me say one thing. This video is kind of what I would take on a through hike, more of a western through hike. I may do the Colorado Trail this summer, and this is pretty much what I'll take on it if I do that. At the end of the video, we'll talk about if you're in rainier conditions like the AT or the upper Midwest. But yeah, let's get into it because these videos take way too long. First is the KS40 from KS Ultralight. I've done a whole other video on it. The big thing about this bag is it has some metal stays in it right here. These metal stays, just super simple frame stays that put all the weight on your hips. This bag is 16 ounces. What makes this bag special is it's a bridge pack between an empty bag, say like an MLD Burn or a Palante packs, simple pack, and the heavier Arc Blast at 21 ounces. So those empty bags are 11 ounces. The Arc Blast is 21 ounces. This KS40 is 16 ounces, right there in the middle, and a good bridge pack. If you feel like you may need a little more carry capacity, ability to handle the forces of a little heavier load, but you don't need the Arc Blast, get this bag. 16 total ounces. If you got it in TX07, it would be 14 ounces the way I have it configured. And I've got frame stays, load lifters, and these mesh pockets. I got my water carry in here. I do a smart water bottle like everybody else on the side of the packet, or on the side of the pack. This year, I'm gonna start carrying water. This is a 2-liter bag. I'm gonna carry 1 liter in here, flatten it out, maybe carry it sideways, maybe even turn it over, or maybe even carry a 1/8 foam pad underneath there to kind of keep it down. I really like the idea of keeping water close to your center of gravity. You may think, hey, that's going to dig into your back, but surprisingly it doesn't. I like to really wrench my hip down. But if it ever did get annoying, I'll just throw it in the pack on the inside. I'll just slide it around back. But yeah, ignore this. This is a little experiment. I added little stretch mesh pockets, like my Gossamer Gear Crown VC60 from long ago. Yeah, this pack to me is perfect for base weights 9 to 13 pounds, which is really the heart of a lot of you, like what through hikers are thinking about bringing. So, by the way, this is the big four, and then we're gonna go over through other stuff. Here's the shelter. I got Z-Pax Duplex. It's really good for cross ventilation. That's the key thing for me. You definitely can go lighter in the Solplex, and you can even go even lighter by getting a Hexamid and putting a net drape around it. But I'm gonna give it a go. It's really roomy, and especially out east, if you were in rainy conditions and you needed, to dry off wet stuff, this is a very nice shelter. Here's my stakes. Use a variety. I got some Ruta Locura Sorex stakes that I'm going to try out. These stakes. I got a shepherd's hook, and I got a Easton 9-inch long stake. Okay, going through the big four still. This is a Nemo Tensor. I haven't cut it down. I am going to. The final weight should be 13 ounces for a 25-inch wide pad that's 55 inches long that goes to my knees. So it's 25 inches wide, and if you toss and turn or you like to stomach sleep, this is awesome for you. I'm not hardcore enough to do closed cell foam pads yet. I don't know if I'll ever be. I really like these pads, but yeah, I think this is a better pad than the Thermarest X-Lite. No matter which size you're picking, this Nemo is going to be about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces heavier than an X-Lite, but it's much quieter. And even if it doesn't bother you, it could bother other people. So I just think this is a better pick. yeah, it's way quieter, and it has the same kind of mylar internal insulation that the X-Lite does. It's probably about the same rating as an X-Lite. If you need to take this further, get like a 1/8 inch closed cell foam and put it on top of it or underneath it. But yeah, I chose this over the X-Lite because every time I went into an REI, I would, try an X-Lite, and it was just, it's noisy. Anybody that says otherwise is really kind of rationalizing, in my opinion. So yeah, there's the Nemo. Since we're talking about sleeping, I'll just go straight to the pillow. The Big Sky pillow is what I use. I either use a buff or this make your own gear fleece tube. It can be a hat, you can cinch it down on your hat, but at night it can be the pillowcase for this. This is 1.5 ounces, and it's really nice. Next thing, I don't have it yet. It's either going to be, this is my current sleeping bag. I'm going to order either a Katabatic Palisade or an Enlighten Equipment Enigma 20. I just have not decided on which one it's going to be yet. But looking forward to that. This has been a good bag, but the quilt will save me about 6 more ounces. So, all right, let's head over to the stuff in my pack. So this base weight at 8 pounds, I've tried to make a base weight as light as possible, but it doesn't give up it doesn't make many major sacrifices. We just went through, it's got a big tent, it's got a cookset. It's got thermal underwear, it's got puffies and clothes, extra clothes, but all at 8 pounds. But yeah, let's go over a cookset. I've got a whole video on this. This is the Caldera Cones F-Keg that I've stripped down and lightened up even further. It's 3.5 ounces for that. I took out the stock stove and bought a Zelf modified Starlight that will do 2 cup boils or very near 2 cup boils in with 0.5 ounces of fuel. So that's very fuel efficient. So yeah, look at that video for my rationale of that. I really like hot food. Maybe if I was a thru hiker, I would change my mind though, and I would send this home. Here's a bamboo spoon. You say it's like 0.3. You save 0.3 over like a titanium spoon, but if it's annoying, you could just use that. It seems kind of small. I haven't really tried this one yet. Got a regular Sawyer with a smart water cap on top. Got a little scoop. Find one of these super cheap water bottles and cut it off for a water scoop. It's really important. Here's a bear hang bag, a Cuban one with an op sack, an odor-proof sack on the inside of it. Maybe debatable. We'll get back to that at the end of the video of whether you should carry that. Little Silva mini compass, mini thermometer. It's 0.5. Here's a new addition. This is the 2017 Petzl E-Lite. I was carrying a Phoenix LDO2, but if you really look at the lumens that this puts out versus the burn time, compare that to the Phoenix or some of the Olight ones, and this has a lot of light for a lot of burn time. You're not going to do like adventure racing running in it. You're not going to run, but you can definitely night hike in this. And it's got the red light for reading. So there's that. Here's my ditty bag. This is the actual bag that it goes in. All this stuff will go into here. I've got toothpaste dots. I kind of like those. Little Swiss Army knife, cut off toothbrush, a flosser, some Dr. Bronner's. Lip balm, which I wouldn't always take, but I've said this video is more like a West Coast Colorado Trail type trip, so I would definitely bring lip balm right there, and some matches. I should probably bring a Bic too. I don't think the Bic's shown, but yeah, I should do that. Little first aid kit, about 1 ounce. Little repair kit, also about 1 ounce. So yeah. All right. So this is a placeholder. My Frog Togs is actually at work, so I just put a windshirt right there that I have. That would be Frog Togs. I either want to buy Luke's Ultralight Micro 10, or Z-Packs just came out with this jacket that's, the specs are a little wondrous. The Virtus, I think it's called the Z-Packs Virtus. I may get that. but it's super expensive, and that 7D material is a little dicey. So got polycro over here. You know, you don't explicitly need it to protect the bottom of the duplex, but I carry some of it just to baby it a little bit. And this could also be, since we're talking about rain gear, it could be a really poor rain skirt. You could use that as a rain skirt, but you know, if you want to carry rain pants, you could also do that. But I'm gonna give that more of a go. On a Ridgeline, it's gonna be real. You know, it's not gonna be a good rain skirt. It's gonna whip a lot. I mean, think of polycro, how light it is. If there's any kind of wind at all, it's not gonna be that good, but it's something. So over here is a puffy, the down puffy from Bora gear. Goose Feet Gear also makes some. Some of the Montbell alternatives are really good. I don't think Bora's making down jackets right now. I think they're getting back into it, so keep an eye out for that. But the Goose Feet Gear one looks good. A slight annoyance from watching just hundreds of lighter pack links on Reddit Ultralight is these types of jackets with the larger baffles, like the Montbell Superior Down or the Goose Feet Gear jacket. They're much or like a Noon Attack Ska Hot jacket. They're much superior to me than a Ghost Whisperer. Every through hiker that comes through online and asks for advice, they invariably have like a Ghost Whisperer in there. But look at Ghost Whisperer baffles are very narrow. Like jacket like this, if a Ghost Whisperer's like that, this jacket's gonna have a baffle height like that. Okay, so just try to avoid those. I mean, it's not like a life or death decision, but if you're paying for warmth, you might as well get the most warmth by buying a jacket that has big baffles. So there's that. Some more extra clothes. That's a bug head net. There's some extra socks. There's some just thin poly liners. Those are Capilene, Patagonia Capilene lightweight, 3.7 ounces. I would give them a go out west. They're damn thin though. But I would give them a go, especially since I have some Montbell Dynamo wind pants at 2.8. So those two will probably keep you pretty warm in most conditions. It's hard to think of a time where you get majorly cold temperatures. So lastly, a walking piece or a sleeping piece. Of course, these are like sleep clothes right here, but if you have to, you can walk in them. This is the Haglof's Limb Series fleece. The material is exactly identical to Patagonia Thermal Weight. So if this isn't available, get the Patagonia Thermal Weight. 6.25 ounces. Both of these jackets together weigh 12.5 ounces, which is a good total weight for two pieces for two insulation pieces. This under a shell and under the shirt I walk in will probably get me down to about 30. I've only really ever thought to have it on when it's around 40, but it feels like I can go to 30, so that's good enough for me in terms of walking. If it gets any colder, I'll just put on the puffy. So yeah, I missed electronics. Got some earbuds. Got 2 cords and a charger. That's the 10,000 milliamp Anker that everybody has. I would probably try to get away with a lipstick 3200 milliamp, especially since my phone has a really good 3900 milliamp battery. If you can have a phone with a really good battery, then more power to you. So let's go over some of these things that I would change, or let's go through some alternatives. Having a Cuban bag and an op sack for Western conditions, especially the PCT early, not really a real reason to have the Cuban bag. So you may want to dispense with that. You don't really need to bring a puffy if you're going to walk all day and you take minimal breaks. I would just bring a synthetic insulation piece, but I would not bring this one. This is too light to have as your only insulation piece. I'd pick something thicker like an R1 or a Melanzana microgrid, or Ragged Mountain Equipment has this stretch grid hoodie that I just got that I'm kind of testing out and is pretty good. So a lot of people would tell you med kit wise, You don't really hardly need to bring anything, but that's a personal choice. Leave it up to you. Um, we already talked about it a little bit. If you don't want to do polycro as a rain skirt, just bring a real rain skirt. They make good floor protection at night, and it's just a little bit more robust. Also, if you get light enough, like this is 8 pounds, this is very close to being too little weight for the KS40. If you get down to a base weight of 7 pounds, I think a pack like the Palante pack, Simple Pack, or a Gossamer Gear Kumo, or maybe even the Gossamer Gear Hyperlight, could start to be make more sense than a 16-ounce bag. This is a 16-ounce bag. Those bags are like 11 ounces. So you could save some more weight there. Some things I omitted from all of this. I didn't have any sleep socks. I don't think sleep socks are really needed out west. Of course, if it's Colorado monsoon, on the Colorado Trail, maybe. But I don't think on the PCT. I don't think PCT sleep socks are really necessary. What else? Oh, I didn't put in a poo trowel, a dedicated poo trowel. You could use a stake. As populations on trails go up and up, and as hiking gets more popular, maybe it would be smart to bring that. I didn't bring a dedicated camera. I think we're starting to get in with like the Google Pixel and the new iPhone cameras that they're starting to get good enough to not bring a dedicated camera like a Sony RX100. But yeah, it's just all of this stuff is really like personal. If you want to do it, do it. So I talked about how the video is more West Coast based. If you're doing an AT hike, through hike, or you were doing, upper Midwest, somewhere where it rains, I would think about a synthetic insulation jacket. Z-Packs is about to debut a ClimaShield Apex jacket that they say is 8.5 ounces. That would be a greater margin of error up in Maine or earlier in the hike. Or if you're doing the Continental Divide Trail, I would definitely bring that Z-Packs jacket that I brought up. Or Nunatak also has come out just with their version of a ClimaShield Apex jacket. Definitely check that out. If you're doing an AT through hike, I would honestly think about a hammock. This would be the Duplex is a nice cross-ventilated tent for the East Coast where it's raining. You want to porch out both doors. That'd be good for that. But a hammock really kind of would be awesome for the AT. More spots to pick from, and there's so many people in the AT. I would definitely think about a hammock. Also for an AT through hike, I would really think about, for hot Virginia and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, an umbrella. That would be a much better solution than the Frog Togs that I was talking about, or the Luke's Ultralight jacket that I was even talking about. I forgot to go through what I wear. So those are Soffee, Soffee, dry running shorts, nylon. Those things will last forever. Some socks. Those are Locust Gear CP3s. Some people are annoyed by a rattle. I think there's a rattle lottery in it. Sometimes you get sticks or the poles that have a little bit of rattle in them. There's a real easy fix. Just watch the video that I have on these. I think I linked the solution in that one. Just a little watch. Sun shirt, long sleeve, bug shirt, permethrin treated. Just a trucker hat. I would put the bandana underneath the trucker hat. Got a buff. This one's like a nylon fly-low buff that I got real cheap at REI. I would probably put that around my neck for neck protection if I was exposed. A full brim hat would also work well, and I would never hike out east without sunglasses, so there's some sunglasses right there. But yeah, total weight is 8 ounces, give or take. And again, it's a list that has what I feel everything you need. It's got multiple clothes. It's got a nice spacious shelter. It's got thermal bottoms if you ever are cold. It's got a cook set, but the whole system's 8 pounds. You can definitely go lower. You could definitely go lower by going lighter on the pack, definitely going lighter on the shelter. That's 20 ounces. You can get down to about 10 ounces on a shelter. if you can dispense with the 13 ounce, the 13 ounces of air foam or air mattress, you can get this whole system down to probably 6.5 pounds. So you're really getting lightweight there. But that's still a pound and a half difference. So, but yeah, that's this year's list, and I'm working on it, and I'm sure a ton of stuff will change this year after I do the trips I'm thinking about doing. So, all right, thanks for watching. Bye.